Alright, what is up everyone? So we're sort of getting closer to the next King of Spooks series because I have to start that next month on the 12th. So we have about a month left. So I gotta kind of come up with some videos till then. Sorry if I'm a little bit louder than I normally am. I just hit a whole bunch of different settings to figure out what I can do. We're gonna get into it with what each Pokemon team of the Scooby-Doo gang there would be. I know that's not the title, that'll be something different, but that's basically what I just named it. So I think we're going to begin with Fred, to be honest, because I am kind of interested in the Pokemon teams of each of the Mystery Incorporated gang. I do think I did a good job trying to convey the aspects of the team. I didn't just say, oh, well, Pelipper for Fred because, you know, it's an orange or it's a yellow, blonde hair, blue beat, or not blue beat, white bird with blue accents. It just resonates with Fred. I didn't do that because that would just be weird and annoying because you guys probably would not like that. I know I would not like that. I wouldn't even watch that video. But we're going to begin with Fred. Then we're going to go into Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby. And I'm going to tell you kind of like what my idea of their trainer would be. So to begin with Fred, he is easily a champion wanting to be trainer. So he is just a regular Pokemon trainer that goes to the gyms, tries to become a Pokemon champion, and typically does not succeed all the time. His ace would be Arcanine, I think mainly because it's like loyalty, and I get it that it's a dog Pokemon, but they have Scooby-Doo. But the Dex entry in Pokemon Ultra Sun is that there is a legend of it fighting alongside a general and conquering a whole country. And if that is not some serious loyalty like Fred has for the gang, then I don't know what else is. Arcanine is just the best embodiment of Fred's loyalty towards his family, his gang. The next Pokemon will embody the trap master that he is, and that is putting Ferrothorn on this team. And it's going to be different. It's not a type like how I did my Primarch video. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. But Ferrothorn is super good with Stall and punishing moveset like Leech Seed, Spikes, Protect, and Gyro Ball. All moves that could be used in one of Fred's trap during one of the mysteries, so it just works out. His next partner is actually going to be sort of like a love for his mystery machine, and that's Revavroom. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not too sure. I always think I call it Revavroom or Revavroom. So yeah, Revavroom. No, the car. Basically that's what it is. Fred would easily try to bling out Revavroom like for a grand appearance like the mystery machine. I just see it happening. It would happen. But kind of getting back to with the Trap Master for a second, that actually leads to his fourth team member, and that being Tinkaton. Tinkaton using his massive hammer is always nice to help build things, and plus imagining Fred arguing with a little pink doll looking at some schematics, like, dude, I know what I do, but then Tinkaton just slams its hammer down, and Fred's just like, oh, actually, never mind, that makes sense. You know, that would be kind of very funny to watch. Now, next up, I am kind of going with the color coordination, like I said with the Pelipper example earlier, and that being Shiny Gallade. And it's to show his honor and more protective side towards the gang, and I just think the shiny version of Gallade is way better than the normal version, so I think it just works in the long run. Now, the final member of his team, and it is to kind of go with a bit of his trivia, and that is Spinda, and the reason why is because Fred easily gets distracted, or he really easily gets hypnotized. There's multiple examples of it, so it just works out. So that's kind of like the basis format of what I'm doing with each of the gangs. I also want to say the ball that he would probably use in the Pokemon series is literally just the Great Ball. It just seems like that would be his shtick. Next up is the future Pokemon professor Velma. Velma would most likely be a researcher slash professor. She'd be fascinated on Pokemon history or Pokemon's natures that she would most likely not follow the normal Pokemon research type. Instead, she'd be trying to study every little aspect on Pokemon. They even make her own version of the Pokédex. Anybody care for a Dinkley Dex? Like, that's more than likely what she would do. Her ace, and this is going to be weird, her ace is a Porygon 2, not the Porygon Z, because Porygon 2 holding an Eviolite is more tankier and stronger, so her ace plus Porygon being science-based would work well. Like, think about it. With the Eviolite makes it tankier, so that way if she ever gets into a problem where she needs a tanky Pokemon, then Porygon 2 can just hold its own. It just makes sense. Her next Pokemon would be a Rotom. Actually, it's not a would, it's a should. And it'd be really good. It's like a really good Pokemon because it could help with her investigations. It could go into her computer. It could go into like her phone, any mechanical stuff she needs. Plus, I think Shaggy and Scooby would also love her having it because that means if Rotom went into like Rotom Frost mode, it would always have food. They would love it. I mean, I'm not putting it on their team, but I'm putting it on her team just because like the extra bonus of her having it. And then her third member would be an Alakazam. Alakazam has like an IQ of 5,000. So it's like, all right, this is like one of the smartest Pokemon ever. Velma would 100%. There's just no arguing on that. Now, here's one that I kind of don't, I understand, but I'm thinking you could switch it out. It's either a Sigilyph or a Claydol. Either or, I'm picking Sigilyph because I kind of like it more than Claydol. It looks nicer. So that's why I put it. If you want Claydol, that could work for you. Next is Reuniclus. Reuniclus is a giant cell, so it would really match well with Velma's studies, plus it could help study biology of Pokemon, so literally it just works really well for her. And then her final member of her team is a Hisuian Zoroark. The reason why is it's because of its illusion ability, so it can hide. But it's also because Velma solves mysteries, so the Zoroark would be trying to help her hone her investigative skills by sneaking around. Plus, Velma is most likely the one solving the mystery for the rest of the gang, to have a Zoroark honing her skills would make a better investigator. Even Batman would probably use a Zoroark. I mean, it just works so well. Now for Daphne. Daphne will more than likely be a beauty competitor than a fighter like Red, but she would still have ferocity with her martial arts skill. So kind of think of a mixture between Ash and Dawn from the Pearl Diamond series. For her ace, I am suggesting a Mienshao. Now there's multiple reasons. It is first, not really that much of a strong Pokemon, but it matches so well with Daphne. Example 1, she and Mienshao are martial artist. Example 2, Mienshao is very pretty aesthetically, so Daphne would match well using Mienshao during beauty contests. Then finally, as you can tell, Daphne and Mienshao look color-wise very similar, so I think there would be a great bond with styles. Now, her follow-up Pokemon is pretty much only used for contests, and that is a Milotic. It is a beautiful Pokemon originally evolving from a Phoebus into a Milotic due to high friendship, and I believe wholeheartedly that Daphne would be so friendly with her Pokemon that she would easily be able to get a Milotic. Next up, I want to put Roserade for a spot on Daphne's roster since it's another beauty contest Pokemon, but Roserade is also very, very strong. So I think it would match up well for Daphne. I think her team could work with a Ninetales. It would work very well for her team on the beauty contest, not much of the fighting, but you can either put the Alolan or the original form of Ninetales, and her team would benefit greatly from it. Serena could be another great member for Daphne to work with, especially its regal kicking prowess, so it would fit with Daphne. And then finally, I want to throw out Politoed. I know that is a very weird pick, but for some weird reason, the little froggy dude would work excellent with Daphne, and I just love it. Like, when I mean it would work well with her, it's like the Prince Charming, you know, got kissed by a frog, or was a frog, got kissed by, I don't remember that story actually. All I remember is like a princess kissed a frog and then Prince Charming came out. That's all I remember. Now, the last two is the Ultra Instinct Devourer, Shaggy Rogers, and I love that so much. Honestly, his trainer type is hard to pinpoint, so I think I'll just say he's a basic trainer who doesn't have a full goal, but somehow collects strong Pokemon. Actually, I just now remembered it, just like when I went with Fred, I forgot to say Velma's Pokeball would be a timer, or not a timer ball, it would be a repeat ball for all the Pokemon she constantly catches, and then Daphne would have a love ball. She absolutely loves her Pokemon, it would just work. Now, Shaggy, getting back to Shaggy, yeah, he would have a full roster of super strong Pokemon, but he wouldn't like know anything about it. He'd just be like, dude, I thought they were cool. His Pokeball would obviously be a friendship ball. And let's get into some of his Pokemon. So the first up, his ace is a Snorlax. Now, my buddy tried to say a Munchlax would be better, but dude, honestly, a Snorlax just sounds so much more for Shaggy than a Munchlax. And the reason why is because Snorlax loves to eat. So that's his first check on being Shaggy's ace. 2, he's really powerful. So, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, Ultra Instinct Snorlax. Third, Snorlax loves to sleep. And I guarantee Shaggy and Scooby would be laying down on Snorlax's giant stomach to also take a nap like a full-on body pillow. So another check there. And then like I said, with that Hyper Beam eyes that Snorlax has, I just keep thinking of that and then Shaggy Ultra Instinct, and it just, my mind just blows with that. His next Pokemon would be a Dragonite. Simply put, Shaggy does not understand what a pseudo-legendary or an uber powerful Pokemon is. So one day he found a starving Dratini, gave it a sandwich, and then it just came with him and eventually evolved into a Dragonite that Shaggy thinks only loves sandwiches like him. Like, I can just imagine Fred being like, Shaggy, when did you get a Dragonite? And he's like, dude, I gave him a half turkey club chocolate a la mode sandwich like 2 years ago. And I don't know what this is. I just think he loves sandwiches like me. That picture in my head is just beautiful. Mamoswine. I think really Mamoswine would be a perfect fit for Shaggy, especially during the winter escapades the gang goes on. So maybe during one trip, Shaggy found a Swinub looking for some snacks. So Shaggy gave him a little help. And in turn, it left for, Swinub left the cold, joined Shaggy, and eventually evolved into a Mamoswine. Because he was just that lucky to get a Swinub that had ancient power. Like, it's crazy. Next up, and this one is a bit of an odd pick for Shaggy at the very least, and that being Gengar. Gengar could constantly mess with Shaggy, which Gengar finds hilarious since Shaggy is easily scared. So I think having that dynamic for Shaggy would be an interesting pick, where Shaggy's constantly getting scared by Gengar, and Gengar is laughing so much. But then when Shaggy realizes that it's just his Gengar, he laughs too. He's like, oh man, you got me again, dude. Ludicolo. Now, this one could easily be on this team. Shaggy loves music and dancing. The dude has the most chill attitude to everything. So a Pokemon like Ludicolo could work so well for his team and synergy. Plus the coloring is, I always gotta go with the coloring a little bit. It's right there. And I think that his final Pokemon, it should be an Appleton. This dragon, yes, it is a dragon type Pokemon, is a freaking apple pie, and I absolutely love it. And I know Shaggy would easily use it, if only so everywhere he goes, it smells just like pie. Now, I will admit before we get into Scooby's team, I do not really care for pie that much, but if you like pie or love pie, give me a like, comment down below your favorite pie, and if I should try it. I love trying new food, so it'll help me gain new knowledge on things. I always love learning. Now, our main attraction and the name of the franchise, Scooby-Doo. His team is honestly just Scooby if I have to describe it. First up, his ace. And actually, before I get into his ace, the ball that he would use, the Poké Ball that he would use, is easily a luxury ball. No competition there. But his ace is easily an Eevee, but the reason why is because Eevee is just such a mascot of Pokemon like Pikachu, and for the same for Scooby-Doo in the Scooby-Doo franchise, so it just matches having them two together. I doubt he would evolve it. If anything, I don't think he would know how to evolve it, like give it a stone or anything, so eventually it's like with high friendship during day or night, it could turn into an Espeon, an Umbreon, or a Sylveon, so it's just like a really hard choice, but I think it might just stay in Eevee. Now, his next couple Pokemon are all dog types, but different reasons than them just being dogs. Doxbun shows Scooby-Doo's love of food, and having a dog made of bread would actually make Scooby-Doo really jealous. He'd be like, man, why can't I be made out of bread? Houndstone, this ghost dog, would actually be really cool to have teamed up with Scooby, since having a ghost dog teaming with the world's most famous ghost hunting dog is really cool, and I really like that. Mabosstiff is practically the embodiment of Scooby-Doo's loyalty and courage for his friends and family to, at the very least, save them when he is very scared during that moment. Now, for the final two, and these ones are sort of different, trust me on that, Smeargle can show Scooby-Doo's artistic side, which could be really cool, mainly because of his ability Sketch, which sort of works with how Scooby-Doo breaks the fourth wall with his antics against the monsters. Plus, imagining a Smeargle drawing a fake apple that to trick Scooby-Doo to try to eat, but Scooby-Doo just picks it up, takes a bite out of it, much to Smeargle's amazement, and Smeargle just decides, I gotta follow this guy, because how did he make a painting of an apple? How did he eat it? And finally, I think an Apom would work really best for Scooby-Doo, since Apom could easily embodiment Scooby-Doo's playfulness, his silliness, or his comedic trope. So to have this little guy just making goofs and funny moments would be awesome to see. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you also so much for watching. I almost got a tongue twister there. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will catch you guys later. Peace.